was your reaction to Michigan announcing its quarterback change, even under the best already, as it affected preparations?
I mean, I understand it. I mean, I can understand where they're coming from on it. There's two trains of thought. They both have relevance. But I'm not going to sit here and guess why they did or, why they made that choice. That's their decision. We got to be ready for everybody that they have. Very multiple offense, very good on the offensive line. Backs are good, tight ends, elite. A lot of really gifted coaches over there, so big challenge regardless of who's under center.
How much had you prepared for Alex Orton in that first week, knowing that he might be in on some packages?
I don't think I would say. Sorry.
Coach, is there anyone on the roster who can replicate what he does as a scout team player? Kind of a fun week of preparation with his running ability. Yeah,
there's an old quarterback from Muleshoe, Texas, that's going to come out of retirement. So we're going to see what he can see if his legs still got it. We got a couple of guys that we're trying to use a little bit, but he's a really good athlete. I told people last night I was familiar with him. We recruited him a little bit coming out of high school. Remember, I have a lot of respect for him as a player and an athlete. So we'll do the best we can with the body that we have.
Coach, what problems does Mike Barndale's defense pose for you guys? And have you, he was with the Giants last year. Have you used that NFL tape in any way?
He's a really good coach, obviously. I mean, a ton of success in the NFL. He's been a kind of a pioneer defensively in that league, and certainly for some of the things that they do schematically. So, never quite imagined that we'd be going up against him, just because he, obviously so much of his time in the NFL, and such a storied career there. But an elite coordinator, and certainly the way they're playing right now, you can see his impact on their defense.
You've made it clear that you think Michigan is still a really strong football team, despite they did a couple weeks ago. Just what have you seen from them on tape, and what do you feel about their personnel? That this is still an elite program.
I mean, because there's NFL players all over the place, and a lot of guys that were, part of winning a national championship last year. There's a lot of good players, a lot of good coaches at that place. Again, everybody, we live it every year. It's not anything new. You understand it, but I mean, everybody wants to write the story after a couple of games in the season for everyone, and that's just. It's a long season, man. That's a good football team that we have a lot of respect for. To have anything less would be a mistake.
How much of a test would you say this is for the offensive line?
It's a big test. Another tremendous defensive line. Second really good defensive line that we've played here in 3 games. Super accomplished. Really all the guys, even some of the guys that rotate in, can really play. Obviously, the 2 defensive tackles are tremendous, but the edge guys are good too. So, big challenge that we got to embrace.
What do you do to prepare an offensive line for a hostile environment? There's only so much you can do.
Well, you first game, you play a marquee team in the first game, and so that I'm glad that we've been in, obviously, that type of atmosphere against another really good football team. We get a chance to go up against a pretty decent defensive line in practice every day, and so I think the battles there, day in and day out through spring and through camp, you're counting on paying dividends. But then we got to go in there and do it, and it'll be a huge challenge. It'll be a big part of the football game.
What do you remember from recruiting Mason Graham, and how have you seen his career progress?
You're a tremendous player. Was one of the guys that we attempted to get in on right when I got the job. Really enjoyed him and his family. It was just one of those things. It was just too quick. There wasn't enough of a relationship there. And he was far enough down the road with those guys that it's one of those things that had things been earlier, maybe it would have been different, maybe it wouldn't have. But a ton of respect for him. I enjoyed the time I had with him here right when I got hired, and no surprise to me to see the kind of player he's become.
Having all the momentum, those first 2 weeks, and then having an off week, and now going into this big matchup, how do you keep these guys going, keep them on their toes and excited for this weekend?
I think they've been excited to prepare. I mean, it's hard to I think more than anything, you've had to not temper it, but you can't peak too early, just emotionally. It was an exciting bye week. There's a lot of excitement around the program, knowing what's happening, knowing what the opportunities that are coming ahead. Since we're ready, I think we've been eager to play this one, honestly, since last week. So we've tried to get a lot of work done, which we have, but we're certainly glad that the game's getting closer.
The expectation since the quarterback change seems like it would be that Michigan would lean on the run more, but having recruited Alex Orton a little bit, how much you have to account for the pass within the quarterback?
You always do. I mean, you don't play quarterback at this level without being able to throw the ball. So yeah, I mean, it's a to sit there and think if he plays the entire game that they're going to, run it 70 times and throw it one time or something like that. I don't think that's going to be the case. So, no, you definitely have to account for it. He's certainly going to throw it and make you pay.
Coach, you plan on taking the team there early, maybe so they can get some of that off factor out of the way, so the big house
to the stadium?
Yeah.
We don't plan on it. No.
How was Mason after some time away?
Say it again.
How was Mason Cobb after some time away?
Good. He was a little limited in obviously the beginning of last week, but was able to. We ramped him up towards the end, and he's full go right now. So doing well. Expecting to be full go.
Coach, first Big Ten game, obviously wanting to make a statement. What would a victory do for this team looking forward, getting ready for the rest of the conference slate?
Just a 1-0 conference. You go third win. I don't want to minimize it. It's a big challenge. It's a great opportunity, but once it's over, it's going to be on to the rest of it. And so it is a great challenge. We're really looking forward to it. But then there's a whole lot of season left after that.
And what have you seen about Kalani's development at right guard? And, is that still kind of an ongoing competition that you guys are evaluating throughout the year?
He's done a good job. He has. He's played physical. He's improved so much mentally. His communication skills in there have really improved. Our guys have gotten comfortable playing with him. I think Amos is really improving too. I think Gino just keeps getting healthier and healthier by the week. He gets further and further away from that injury. So we got a good group in there that we feel really good about, along with Killian. I think we could interchange a lot of those guys right now. But we've been pleased with Alani, and he just got to keep pushing and keep getting better. But everything he's shown us, I believe he will.
Coach, how did Jalen Smith, Mason Cobb, and Aaron Gentry look today? And is there any more injury updates ahead of today's game?
No, they look good. We're all good to go.
Let's do one more.
Obviously, you said before you don't know when you're able to start playing games defensively. Though, what two games were you been most impressed by with that unit, and where you see kind of more?
We've tackled pretty well so far. We haven't had too many busts. We had a few too many in coverage in the first game, but we've been able to limit it. We've been able to limit big plays, which has been great, and we've done a pretty nice job on third downs up to this point, especially the third and longs. And so all qualities of really good defensive plays. So I'm proud of that so far. A lot of big tests coming up, including this week, and we're going to have to, the nature of college football is you got to prove it week in and week out, and you're only as good as your next performance. So here's our next one, and we've got a good challenge in front of us.
Thank you, Coach Riley.